Hello everyone, Simon Kitvan here from the Kitvan episodes, and today we are also going political. We posted a video about the University of Nairobi elections, and there were a lot that were expected. Things happened, other things that we didn't expect also happened. And today we are going to do a post election analysis of the entire process of what happened, and we are also live again today on the bench with real political science students who are actually political analysts in the making. And I think I'm going to first let my man here from the far end to introduce himself. And welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kitvan. I'm Okech Frederick, CEO ASDA, and political scientist student, and also a strategist. Thank you.
We also have another student here, and I'm going to ask him to introduce himself to the show.
Thank you, Simon. I'm Isaac Okech. I'm a student of political science at the University of Nairobi. I'm also a senior lecturer at the School of PR and Tension Management. Thank you.
Well, as you have heard from them, we have a lot to unpack for you today. A lot have been happening. Just like the outside world there, we also have our elections, though ours are held annually. Every April, we do have our general elections where we elect our campus governors. At the same time, we elect the overall union boss. And this time, we were really shocked with who the delegates gave us. So just to start us off, a lot of things happened during that period. I want to ask each of them any observations that they made during the entire process until the election day. So if you could take us through what you observed from the selection of candidates, how they campaigned, to how the elections were done. Were they really free and fair? There any change from how they were last year and this year? So
Thank you very much. I can say the process was hectic because the first stage was selecting a team. Then this team, after clearing, they were supposed to start their campaigns. And according to me, or according to my observation, there was not that much difference between last year and this year, because selection of the teams were done perfectly, campaigns were perfect, but now problem arose on the eve of the election because some names were missing on the ballot papers, and they were getting some difficulties to vote, and I think that one should be rectified next time. But generally the whole process was good.
thank you. Okech, do you want to add something on top of that?
Yes, definitely. During this electioneering period, in every elections there must be aspirants at first. Then after going through the clearance process, then we have the candidates. Every student was allowed to aspire, provided that we met the qualifications. So with the new arrangement that we have in place today, one is required to form a team of 7 with representing different, with 3 people representing different groups, rather interests. That is special needs students, international students, and the sports and students welfare students. During this process, very many people, quite a number, declared their interest to serve students in different capacities following the announcement of the elections dates. But just like last year, there was the nomination process. After nomination processes, you go to the clearance process. Now, the most contentious part that we saw a lot of difficulties was the clearance process, whereby you found that some of the promising candidates missed out even after clearance. Many students believed in them, but they missed out on the final clearance list. So these elections again came as a disappointment to some of the students. because some of their favorable candidates never made it to the ballot. And again, there are quite a number of challenges that we registered with these elections. First of all, in the nominal roll, some students, especially the first years, were missing. Their names were missing in the nominal roll. So this barred some of them from exercising their democratic right. Some of them did not participate in choosing their leaders. So that is one of the challenges we registered in the past elections, just like last year. And again, we want to plead with the commission, let every student's name appear on the nominal rolls.
That was really analytical, and I think if you are not even a student of the University of Nairobi, now you just have a clue of what goes on behind the scenes. So just to do a follow-up based on what they have said, in my previous interview, when I interviewed other students on the same topic, I was interviewing Oseko, and I was asking him a very kind of unique question, and I wanted him to convince me what is the relevance of these elections to students, because I was telling him that someone like me, the only thing that links me to the school was school fees, and tried very hard to convince me why I should participate in these elections. Though I saw that me participating in these elections doesn't really help me a lot, because when the students are campaigning, they tell me things that I internalize and actually say that they are not going to help me that much. So I can either decide to vote or not to vote. So I don't know if my panelists here also have the same school of thought as me. So I'm going to ask them if they have a different view. What is the relevance of these elections to students? Thank you. You may start us off.
That's a very good question. The relevance of these elections to students, following the Constitution, Kenyan Constitution, you have the right to vote. With this right, number one, it is very important to these students to exercise that democratic right, the right to vote.
From my end, I think just as he started off in the Constitution of Kenya, and I think it's Article 86, if I'm not wrong. It is 82 or 86, if I'm not wrong. And student who is politically conscious, I think I must participate in an election. We do not ask to be passed by events. That's why we must participate, whether we have interest or not. But again, the relevance of these elections, that is now to the students, that is now where we have the bone of contention. Elections nowadays, with the new arrangement we have in UNSA, the elections are so much relevant to the students, considering whatever they have experienced in the past 1 year that this administration has come into effect. In fact, it has done us more harm than good. As a student fraternity, I think this is the time that we are more divided than ever. So this leaves a divided students fraternity. And again, you remember, the more divided we are, we beg. That's why the admin has found its way into students' politics. So I want to believe, again, with these elections are relevant to the students because they're getting to learn better about what the new system means to them. And if indeed this system is bad, if the new system is good or bad, or if they will want Sunu back. I think that is what really students are still testing with the new system that we have in place. Yeah.
Well, just to voice on whatever they have said, usually when I interact with students, some of the things that they say is that I can't participate in these elections because I'm only taking students who are power hungry to the office because they know that there is a salary that is tied to this post that they will be earning. if you are a student, you know the struggle that your fellow students go through. And if you can have somewhere you are earning salary per month, however that little it could be, it's still of much help to you. So I have personal friends who I ask them, why won't you go and vote? And they tell me the same things. Like, whenever these leaders are campaigning, they tell me issues that are ahead of my concern. Like, they don't help whatever they are trying to address during their campaigns to appease us as students to go and vote for them, are not closely linked to them. So that is one thing that I think makes students not vote. Like, when a leader is telling you, I will give you jobs, yet he himself or herself doesn't have that job. The only job he has is the post that she's got in office, yet she's telling you, I will link you to the outside world, which we don't see even when we compare to the previous leaderships that we have had. When they send you the internship, some of them require a very abnormal amount of qualifications, and you wonder where you are going to get that from. Some require you to go and work abroad, yet you are still a student. So you keep wondering, do I go and vote for these candidates because they want to be in office, or do I vote because they are my friends, or do I vote because it's just a formality that you should vote by default, because we are also entitled to that in our constitution. We have the right to vote and also right not to vote. So that one have really remained a big issue in playing why students do not vote. If we can just have a flashback, I remember last year the leaders who promised us jobs, and they came up with something I think called Ajira, which was a government initiative, but they chose to officially partner with the University of Nairobi. So comrades were happy because we were told we were going to get jobs, which until today, I'm still waiting for that job. The Ajira offices in school have been closed. Every day, doors are closed. And you wonder, this is what our leaders wanted us to go through. Yet we see them rolling around in suits, and I'm here suffering as a fellow comrade. So I think this one is an issue that must still be addressed at large by the administration. Though on the higher end of elections, the overall post, also students have a very big issue with that. We should be entitled to one student, one vote, forgetting the overall boss. I don't know if my panelists will agree with me, or they are going to defend it and stand with the administration. It was actually changed because there used to be a lot of chaos and goonship. Maybe to ask my panelists, are they really okay with this thing of delegates electing us our general leader?
That's a scam. That is a scam. One student, one vote. The issue of delegates, this is benefiting the few students who will win with whichever means to get that position and benefit themselves, because they will be lobbying for money here and there. Those candidates who will be cleared to run for the presidents, the students' president, UNSA president, they will be lobbying money here and there. So that one is none of the interest to the student who is on the ground. So this issue that they are saying they want to bring us job, they want to bring job to the students or whatever, it's another scam. So this time around we are not going to allow it, and we are going to mobilize students, and we are also going to teach them so that they can also understand this system and how it operates. Most of these students have not read even this new constitution, and it becomes a very big problem because they don't know what's happening. But for us who have read the constitution, we should be teaching them and advising them on how that constitution works. And we should also amend some of the aspects of that constitution so that we have a system where one vote counts, though we should do it in a very organized manner. We don't need goonship, but at the same time, elections and politics is all about interest. So is who gets what, but it should be done in a very organized manner. One student, one vote.
Do they really mean what they tell fellow students in those manifestos?
Yes.
That was the question.
Yes.
Now, on my part, I've always believed that it has become a norm that candidates in every elections have to produce manifesto as an agenda that they are selling to the voters. Just like at the University of Nairobi, just like in the Republic of Kenya during the general elections, most candidates ride on populist agenda. They publish manifesto with very flowery language that can lure voters easily into believing that they are really achievable. This flowery language, the electorate will buy these ideas. People have to see that you have an agenda. Whether you will fulfill it or not is not part of your problem. So I want to believe these people do not mean whatever they write in these manifestos. On the delegates' part, it reverts to the whole question of the University Amendment Act of 2016. That was an act taken to before the floor of the House, that is the National Assembly and the Senate. This was after Duale, in his thought, they believe that they are breeding another dictator in Babu Owino at the University of Nairobi. So all this was brought in place to target Babu Owino. Now, this has come with dire consequences, especially to the students. And the most contentious part is the elections part. I want to believe it is the only contentious part in that act. Now, with this act, you are required to elect campus delegates. Having a delegate system, that the fate of over 80,000 students of the University of Nairobi lie in the hands of 36 people. I think that in itself is very abnormal.
Yeah.
It is very abnormal in such a setup. That will make delegates be bought. This electoral college system is very harmful to students, and it must therefore be done away with immediately. There is no bargain about that.
Moving on quickly. Now, guys, things go back to normal. We start going back to classes like we have always been going. Nothing more to expect. So, with the new faces we have in office, should we expect any change? Let's start with main campus.
If you look at, like my colleague here have just said, according to their manifesto, they don't even accomplish even a simple thing.
Yes.
And if this is the trend, we are not expecting anything there. We know how it has always been.
I can see my colleague here is making good use the knowledge of they got from political inquiry. He's already doing a prediction what is yet to happen. Now, on my part, for main campus, this is the campus that holds the university.
Like the central government.
Yeah, the top echelons of power at the University of Nairobi are in main campus. Now, luckily or fortunately, the team that I rooted for in main campus carried the day. So, in a way, my analysis will be biased. But as a student of political inquiry, I'll try to be as impartial as possible in my analysis.
Yes.
With the current student body we are having now, where it is beholden on the university administration. It is beholden on the university administration. That is, most of the things they do are in line with the interests of the university administrators. They do as told, not as they think. The thinking is left for the university administration. The doing part is left for the student leadership. So now I don't think we should expect much from the leadership that we have as at now in main campus. But with the team that is in place, we hope that they'll make a difference. One or two things might be done that was not done by the previous leadership that we have in main campus. So I don't believe we can expect much, but I want to believe there will be one or two things that will be done that will make a difference from the previous regime that we had in main campus. Thank you.
Now, almost on the last part of this video. So, our overall boss at the University of Nairobi is a lady, right? We've never had a lady holding that topmost post. So, the first thing that really comes to my mind, our girls have always been crying that they are neglected in the policy making thing. Now, because we have a lady holding the seat now, do we really wish that there is going to be a lot of favor to the girl child than the boy child? Like they have always been saying that in the previous governments, boys are kind of getting much favor compared to ladies, or she's also just going to joyride as the others have been doing and enjoying her post. Guys, do you think something is going to happen?
That's a very good question. And to answer you about that, is that remember what we just said, that these people are in this UNSA body. That's number one. Number two, they are students. Number three, they act in the interest of the administration. These three things will not change, regardless of who is the president or the boss of the union. Though I want to congratulate her and Gloria for being elected for that position, but I don't want to speculate a lot.
Now, asking about whether the female student leader will incline herself towards female students and leave out in the cold. I think when Anne Mwangi took, let me first congratulate her on being the first female University of Nairobi student leader. It's the first time that we are having a female student leader. Now, when Anne Mwangi was taking oath of office, she swore to serve all students, regardless of your race, gender, height, sex, and everything from whichever family you come from. So in short, I believe she will serve all the students of the University of Nairobi. And again, I want to believe that having a female student, women all over the world have done exemplarily well in leadership. I can cite quite a number of examples, like just from Kenya here, during the Mau Mau War, when the Mau Mau fighters were agitating for the return of their land from the British imperialists. Them acted as spies, some cooked food, composed war songs for the men that had carried the men. Angela Merkel, Mama Teresa, they have done exemplarily well positions of leadership. So I want to believe that Anne Mwangi too will embrace whatever these other women did to be what they are in the books of history.
A very big challenge, a very big shoe for her, that she must do something to, those congratulatory messages were not for nothing. You must do something to save comrades.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the end of this episode. Maybe before I sign off for this show, I want to ask my panelists one more time their last words to say. And I want to give each of them this chance to speak to the camera here and tell us, or you, or anybody else, what they think or their advice to the administration, anything that they want to say. So I'm going to start with him.
I will have two statements, one for the administration, the other one for the students. For the administration, I think you should prepare the way, because a very big revolution is coming and you cannot stop it. For the students, the future is sooty and we must do something to liberate ourselves. The administration, we are coming for you.
On my part, I want to say that the current arrangement we are having now is a real-time bomb. It's a real-time bomb, and it's only a matter of time. Time is the difference. Students will get tired and they will revolt eventually. And when they will revolt, it won't be pleasing to the apologies of this arrangement we are having now. It won't be very cozy and rosy for them. So I want to urge the students, my fellow students, let us be firm, bold, let us not be shaken. And finally, the administration will give in to our demands. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And to the viewers, I also want to thank you for staying with us until this very far end, that we have come to the end of this video. And to my panelists here, thank you for accepting to be on the show.
Thank you so much, Us. Tutakuja wakati mwingine.
Yes, I hope next time you will accept my invite, okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tell our viewers to join us, the School of Strategy.
Yes.
And
I am also having a very serious school of PR called the KH School of PR and Tension Management. We offer courses in chaos, pandemonium, and TMF. Those are only master's degree courses. We have numerous undergraduate courses. Thank you.
I wish that next time you will join us when we have something to say. And if you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe down in the description box below and become a member. And if you also want to debate my panelist here on whatever we have said today, feel free to do that in the comment section down below. So it was a very hot topic today, and we are planning to arrange more of such contents for you. I think that's our time for today, and we are going to sign out. See you again in the next video. Thank you for watching. My name is Simon Kitman. Bye.
let's go.